Alright, so hey, this is a tutorial kind of walkthrough video that I'm going to make for the Viva la Vida arrangement I made for my viola and my lute pedal, which is back here. Probably can't see it too well. It's hard to find a good camera angle in here. I'm just using my phone to record this, but yeah, I got a request to make a little tutorial for this, just for the separate arrangements that I made for it, for the tracks and for the melody. So I'm just gonna walk you guys through it, and I hope this helps if you're trying to learn how to play it. So the song is in A flat major, first of all, so that's probably a good place to start. Is just, run through the A flat major scale a couple times. It's gonna start, G string, low first finger. So if you don't know that scale, I suggest getting a scale book, or you can just find it on YouTube probably, how to do scales if you're like a total beginner. So there's that. So that's the key we're in, right? Really make sure that you run through that so that your hand just where to place your fingers while we're doing this. So the first track that I did just to get the song going was the part, and that's what I'm going to start with. So the first chord, the chord for the first measure of this piece is D flat major. So on the C string and G string, I'm playing D flat, which is a low first finger, and A flat, which is also a low first finger. So if you did the scale, then your finger's not going to move from where it was, from where we're starting out. So you're going to be blocking a perfect fifth from the C and G string. Just place your first finger over both those strings. It can be kind of hard to get it in tune at first. If you kind of you shift your hand back and forth, you can adjust the tuning like that. So maybe just practice it a couple times to get it in tune, like that. And I guess what's next? I guess next, the rhythm for it. Every single rhythmic kind of thing, each phrase, each section of this song is always syncopated on the end of 4, like at the end of the measure. And what I mean by that is it all sounds like da, da, so it's always that da 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 kind of thing going on in every single part. So just get your perfect fifth with the low first finger and practice that rhythm a little bit until you can get that down. So that's how it's going to start. The next chord for the next measure, after you do that, right, the next part is going to be an E flat major chord. So for that, all I'm doing is going from these two fingers to a second finger on the C string, so just place it a whole step above where the low 1 is, so it's a low second finger. Then you're going to take your first finger off as you place that down. Ooh, that was bad. There it is. So you're going to have an E flat and a G to the E flat major chord. So you're just going to switch that on the syncopated, so it's going to be like that. So just get your first finger down, place the second one, and take this one off. Then the third part is going to be A flat major. That's the key of the piece. So for that, this is where we are, coming off of the E flat major, and we're going to place the first finger down on the G string where it was at the beginning. There it is. And again, these are all kind of hard to get in tune, these double stops. It takes a bit of practice really to get them in tune. If you just want to do if you just want to do one note on either one, that's fine. You don't have to do double stops. I did just for the sake of not having to loop it twice it's easier to do double stops. So, all right, so we have D flat major, switching to E flat. And from here, you're gonna put your first finger back down on the G string for A flat major. And the final chord for this phrase is F minor. So for that, we have our first and second fingers down. You're just going to put your third finger down. So that's the entire first phrase, and that one's one of the trickier ones just because of the double stops, the syncopation, and those intervals are really hard to get in tune. And from there, I go into the next one. You know, I have my loop pedal back here. I'm not going to actually loop this until probably the end, just so you guys can see the different parts individually. So we have... and repeat it. And then right there, on the downbeat of the next measure, we're going to third position, so this is where we leave off. And you shift up to third and place down your second finger. So and that's how the next part starts, because the next one is much simpler. That's all it is. And I like to do it in third because I think it sounds better in third, but if you can't shift up there yet, just once you're done with, just place your fourth finger down right above the third finger, it works fine in first position too. The shift might be unnecessary even. I just like it. But it's only got 3 notes, and again they change on the syncopated part at the end of the measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and that happens every time. So we're going from D flat to E flat. Then you stay on that E flat. Go back to C. So if you're in first position, that's going to be 4, 1, 1, 3. Or if you're in third, just 2, 3, 3, 1. 3, 1. So that's the second one. So we have... That's the second track that I looped. It really helps to practice this with a metronome, just so you can make sure you have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 3, da 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 going in your head. It also really helps to subdivide into eighth notes in your head while you're doing this, just so you can really keep track da 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 like that. So then the third one is also really simple. It's only 2 notes the whole time. So we ended here. Then on the downbeat of the next measure, we're already right here in third, so just move your second finger over a half step up onto A flat on the D string, also still in third. And this pattern is... That's the second one, and you're just alternating between A flat and G, da 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 da, and it's just that the whole time, except for in this, I think it's on the syncopation, yeah. right there, it repeats the A flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So the fourth beat of that first measure is going to be, it's the odd one that kind of gets the syncopation going. Like that. So it's just alternating between 2 and 1, or if you're in first, between 4 and 3. Like that. So, you know, it's nothing too difficult. Pretty easy. Just make sure that you get the rhythm down. The rhythm is probably one of the hardest things about this. It's the same bowing actually as the first one. 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. So you can probably see how that's the same bowing. That might help, just so you can make the connection. Alright, so all together so far we have the... Then you repeat that, you go into... Then you're in the third one. Now, if you're not used to shifting, I'm not really sure how to help you on this next one, because the reason that I do this one in third is because the next one is an octave up from A flat. So it's the same rhythm as the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, like that. Only different notes. It's only A flat and G the whole time. And how I get there is technically we're in third, right? So if you were to just put your fourth finger down, you'd end on G. Well, we're in A flat, but so basically I'm just kind of stretching my fourth finger up another half step. So it's not really a shift, it's more of an extension kind of deal, where after you're done, just extend that fourth finger. And these are a half step together, just A flat and G, between 4 and 3. So if you're beginning and you don't know how to shift up there, you might just want to try it an octave down. Just the same two notes that we did for the third track. Like that. And so that was the fourth one, right? Yeah. Now at this point, I go into the melody for the first time, so I cut the loop off. And I don't know I don't know obviously if you guys know how to use a loop or not, but basically to get it to record, or stop recording, you tap it and it'll stop recording. I like to tap it one, two, like somewhere in there. So just kind of fade out. Then tap your looper so it doesn't record the melody. Alright, now the melody is probably the part that you guys want to learn the most. So the melody starts on C, second finger of the A string. it's also syncopated. So 1, 2, and 3, 4. Alright, so just on C, 1 and 2, and da, da, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So it's syncopated because it ties into the B flat of the next measure. So we have second finger, then third finger, lowered third to a low 1. 4 and 1. So there's that. And from there we're going to go to A flat. Maybe I should get a metronome. I don't know where a metronome is, so I couldn't. I'll just tap my foot. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 is the rhythm there. The rhythms are the tricky parts, and I don't expect you guys to like get it instantly. You might have to go and like rewatch this, rewatch the actual song or my recording, or I also have sheet music written out for this. It's in a link in the description for the video on my channel. If you check that out, it's like a different video. So, anyways. So, now we're on the B flat, which is still a first finger. So you went to 4 for the A flat. So you're using the same fingers every time. So it's all kind of low. All of them are very low. So 1, 4, then 2, then 1 on the D string, 2 on the D string. And the rhythm is the tricky part, really, because it's just. So 1, 2, try to get the rhythm. So it's very syncopated in that last part. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2. So you're on the offbeat in this last part, like every time. Like that. So that's the first part of the melody. So we have this much. And that's the same. It's the same as the beginning. I do a little bit of a lift and come down on a down bow. Just because I think it sounds cool. So same exact notes, same fingerings. And then here it changes. It goes to 2, 1, 4. So. So 2, 1, 4, 4. And then here I shift into third again to get this F. So. So now we're in third on a third finger. Make sure when you're in third, your 1 is still low because it's a D flat. So, and then shift back down to the first. Play C with your second finger, and now from there, you can either do a 4 finger for the E flat, like to do still like 2 fingers, so kind of shifting really quick back into third. Kind of get that little sliding sound because it's just a cool effect. But either way, whatever you choose to do, so third finger, then 2 and 2, or 2 and 4. And from there, keep in mind the syncopated rhythm is like the same every time. So that part is depending on if you're in first or third, 4/4. So 4/4/4, 4/4/3, 2, or 2. I tend to do when I'm in third, like 2/1/2, then 1, and back into first. And that part's the same as before. So the whole thing starts on 2. That's the whole, that's like the first part of the melody. And from there I go into my 5th, like kind of backtracky loop coming out of my loop pedal, which is, it starts on a 4th finger on the G string. Alright, so, and it's another double stop deal. Well, not yet, it starts. So we start just a 4th finger. Just kind of get that in your head. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. And we're going to add an E flat. So this is kind of tricky. It's a bit of a stretch. So a low 4th finger on the G string, and a low 1 on the D string. So same syncopated rhythm, da 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 da, always on the offbeat. And from there, we're gonna add a 3rd finger instead of a 4. So just, you know, put your 3rd finger down a half step under this, and that C is what we're gonna play next. And the next chord is a bit of a quick switch. You're going to put your 2nd finger down here. And I like to put my 1st finger down for an A flat. Technically speaking, it's just an F minor chord, so if you wanted to do like, and then keep your 3 and just put down your 2nd finger a whole step above the E for the F, that works, since like F major is those 3 notes for the triad. So I just think the 4 sounds better. So you can either do, or you can do this one. I just think the A flat sounds a lot better. But so there's that one, and right after that loop, just stay on this F, and we're going to do the next one, which is a bit notey. There's a lot of notes. That's the 2nd one. Sorry about that, my phone ran out of space because this video is kind of long and I had to go delete some videos. But anyway, so we left off at the part, which is basically just like a descending scale. Or just a note. So as long if you can get this down, you can basically play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1 first finger. 1, 2, 3, then to 3. 1, 3, A. So that's just a A major triad, A flat major. Like that. And after I record that one on my looper, I just go back to the melody. The melody is basically the same. You can add like little things into it. Like when I did this arrangement and I recorded it, it wasn't very scripted. Like it wasn't scripted at all. It was very just kind of me going with it. So like the second time through the melody, instead of going, you could go or something just to mix it up a little bit. You know, little things like that, but basically the melody is the exact same. So you're going to end, like at the end of the melody, is like an alternate ending little thing that he does, that Coldplay does during the song. And that's just like, so just go like to the third finger, a half step under the G. Then B flat, 1. Alright, so that's that part. And then I do a little kind of transitionary thing where I'm just playing whole notes for until it's so I can get up. Because the next track that I'm gonna loop is the same as the, but an octave higher. Like that. So in order to get up there, I made up this little thing that's just like 4 whole notes. C, second finger. Then, like not even syncopated. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just third finger. Then shift up to a 1. Fourth position for the E flat. And then just stay there and place your 4th finger down for the A flat. So I just do like, and then you start recording in so you can do it an octave higher. Because you're already right there. And the fingerings for that, you're in 4th position. So second finger, the F. Then 1. Then you're going to go down to 3. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, the fingering is exactly the same. Then 1, 3, 3, 1, 4. Then 3, 1, 3. So the fingering is exactly the same. 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. So then you have that looping. And from there you just kind of finish it out. You go back to the melody. And eventually you get to the... That's a pretty bad shift on my part, just to do something fancy. But, so you do that. And to finish it out, I wasn't entirely sure how to finish it out. I just went back into the whole note thing. And then at some point I just did like a... and just like cut my loop and ended it there. But I mean, there's a number of ways you can end it. So that's just like a play-by-play of how I looped it in that video. And, you know, I gave you all the fingerings. So now I'm gonna actually loop it, and so you guys can just see like what I'm talking about when I say like, okay, cut the looping here and start the next one here and stuff. So yeah, and keep in mind that like it does not by any means have to be completely scripted, note for note, exactly what I just did. Like you can improvise over it, you can, and even if you don't even have a looper and like you don't have an amp or the chords or the pickup, if you don't have the equipment to do this, and you just have like friends that play stringed instruments, which I'm sure a lot of you guys do, you know, you can just get some people together and have each person play a different part. Collectively, I bet it sounds pretty cool. You get like a cellist do like the, like, or something. But so I'm just gonna loop it, and hopefully you can see all of what we just went over put together and understand like where it's all coming from. Hopefully I don't mess up my looping because it's really easy to get the timing off. So. So it dawned on me while I was doing that there was one part of it that I totally forgot to explain the fingerings for, and that is after the second melody. I'm pretty sure I didn't explain that part, but you're in third. 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3. No, 3, 2, 3. Sorry, 3. It's just 3 and 2. Then back to first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then third, or third finger that is. Back to third. 4, 2. Then back to third position. Fourth finger. Then back to 2. Da, 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 da. So I like to do 2, 1, and then like 3, 2, or 2, 1, 1, 2. Which you could do. You didn't even have to shift really, but that's pretty hard. So I forgot to explain that part, but that's what it was. So that is everything. I hope this helps. It's kind of hard, but you know, if you practice it, you definitely get those rhythms down, definitely hit the notes. Just practice like the A flat major scale, because that's the key it's in. And if you want sheet music for it, I already said that's in the link in the channel, no, not the channel, the video description of the video on my channel. There's a link to some sheet music there. And I mean, it's not easy, so if you're just beginning and you don't know shifts very well, it'll take some practice, but I just hope this helps. Hope you have fun doing it. So thanks guys, see ya.